when you think about like a YouTube channel from an esports organization, especially since we went like the entertainment route, you know, do I think Jack going to a comic book store in LA is what this YouTube channel should be? Probably not. And that's nothing against Jack or the content team, but we just haven't gotten everybody around in the same room making content together. Like it's just not, there's not like a blueprint of types of videos that we should be making. And a lot of times, like in my mind, when we were doing all these challenge videos, I just felt like we weren't actually making anything. You know, it was easy to do. And when you have all these creators that have vastly different schedules and priorities, like their entire job is content full time. And if they have a video that will work really, really well for them, they're going to do it on their channel, and that has nothing to do with us. Okay? So you try to solve for a solution is like, how do we make a video that's interesting for everybody that is participating in the video, and that will also cast a wide enough net to get their audience to come and watch it as well? And I just don't think it's that simple. You know, our subreddit has given us a really hard time about our YouTube channel, but it's tough for me because my interests and the things that I want to do have changed so much. Like to me, getting like 150,000 views on like a very clickbaity, like 2015 YouTube type challenge video, it's fine. I just don't, it's not what gets me out of bed in the morning. Like it's great, but like, what does it actually do for us? Like it gets people more interested in the 100 Thieves, maybe. But I think a lot of the people that are watching this channel or see these people are a lot of times coming for exactly that, to watch the people in the video. There's just not a consistent format that I think works really, 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 really well. And that's what we've always been trying to solve for, which is just not an easy problem to fix. And look at our thumbnails, bro. They're all so thematically different from one another. Like it's hard for there to be any consistency. You know, like everything is so different from the next. Bro, you're still yapping? Yeah, Blake, I don't feel like playing video games yet. So we're kind of just talking about everything and anything internet. So look, bro, I also just don't think our YouTube channel is as important as it once was now, because we just have so much to try to create for. We have every social media platform under the sun. Our esports teams, like, there is just so many things that we do. If the YouTube channel is going to be a success one day, I think it needs to be a refined focus on one consistent theme or one consistent format of video. And that's the only way we're going to make this thing work. YouTube is just really hard. It's really fucking hard. And it's like, if you think about like Barstool, like their YouTube channel was never like the focus of Barstool, but they had certain channels and certain videos that still do well to this day. You know, and a lot of people complained, you know, that we've made too many channels, but it's hard to solve for all the different things that we do because we're just doing too much of everything. Right? Like, if we were to upload a fucking League of Legends docu-series to this channel right now, would it get more views than the 100 Thieves League of Legends channel? Maybe. But we are just confusing the fuck out of our audience by uploading a trillion different things from our network onto one channel. So we split it all up and did things differently like that. Some of you guys might not care about this, but somebody brought up the 100 Thieves YouTube channel, so I wanted to talk about it. It's not that we don't care about it anymore. It just hasn't been as big of a priority as the other things that we've been working on. So I'm trying to find a way. I told the leadership team, like, yo, let's get me, Jack, Ray, and Brooke in some videos. Let's have everybody get into a room for 8 hours and film a bunch of videos and have some fucking content that can be uploaded, that's fun, lighthearted, easy to go, while we try to get our feet underneath us and figure this damn thing out again. And the reason why I brought up Barstool is because, like, if you're a gaming organization trying to make content about gaming, it's not the same. Like, Barstool just has so much ammunition because they make videos about pop culture, bro. They have, like, TikTokers with Dave Portnoy talking about, like, the TikTok and internet drama that's happening. And then they have all of sports and sports betting, and there is just so much for them to create content off of. Like, if you think about us like pigeonholed in gaming, like, I know this is going to sound faded, but I don't even know how to convey it. It's just like there isn't enough happening in gaming that people care enough about to watch a YouTube video about that we can do with all of our creators in that video. Like, in my mind, like, I actually think one of the only ways to have like a consistent viewership that has nothing to do with creators is kind of like editorial deep dives into like specific publishers or games that they've made, or like shit that IGN does. I know that sounds fucking insane for me to even reference like a company like IGN in 2024, but like there just isn't, like, gaming is a lot smaller in terms of material that you have to make content about. Smaller than you would think. So, I don't know. It's a never-ending battle trying to figure out YouTube for 100 Thieves. Especially when you have turnover and like the employees that work there. We've had 3 different people leading content over the course of 7 years. It's hard to have consistency. So, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, not gonna lie, as a marketer in my day job, I feel like 100T isn't doing what it could be. This is like always like the crux of the issue. It's like and listen, I'm sure you're good at marketing, you're good at your job. I agree, bro. It's so easy to sit back and say that somebody isn't doing something well. But alternatively, if you were put in a position where you needed to lead content at 100 Thieves, I actually think it would be really hard for you to get your feet underneath you. It's not as simple as you'd think. You got to work around talent schedules, and then you need to work around your production team, and then you need to work about ideation about these videos. And a lot of times it's really hard to find people that understand YouTube as well as creators, because creators, the reason why they understand it so well is they've had to tinker from nothing to build something out of thin air. And they know what works for them. They know what works for their channel. And a lot of times you bring in people in production who might be really good at one thing, but they've never built a full-fledged YouTube channel up from the ground up. So they don't know what really makes the fucking algorithm tick and the secret sauce to building a consistent viewership across a channel like this. Like, it's really hard to find people like that. It really is. And you could say that you know how to do it, but it's another thing when you have to sit there and do it. It's so easy to poke holes and be like, yo, you're not doing this well. Here's what you should be doing. Like, half the fucking time when I see people say, oh, esports organizations, they have no clue what they're doing. They're wasting all this time. Why aren't they making like coaching videos? And I'm like, yo, those videos have a place somewhere. I actually think TikTok now does a better, like, I'm like, you know how many times somebody has tried to make an esports playbook out of, you know how many businesses, not even just YouTube channels and content people have made about like coaching in esports? I'm like, bro, please, man. It's like, it's so easy for people to just sit in this fucking circle jerk and say, I know what's best. And then they got to go then they got to go do it. And it's not as easy as it looks. Yo, Twets, thank you very much for the Prime. Bring back SportsCenter Top 10, but for esports. Don't hate that. Don't hate that. I feel like there's probably channels that already do that really well. It's like you can't compete, though, with these YouTube channels that don't have a face behind it. They just rip shit from people's Twitch clips and they take shit from other people and do it. Like, they're just so much faster, bro. Like, and it's so much easier. They can just take everything on the timeline, edit it 5 minutes, upload it to YouTube, done. Meanwhile, you know, for something like that, I mean, I guess you could do it without a personality behind it and host it and just do it the same way. But then it's like, what is that video actually doing for the 100 Thieves brand? Like, we need to get Enable up there in front of our fucking screen and make it lots of fun, but it's already more work than what these guys can do in 10 minutes from their setup, and they don't even need a creator behind it to get it done. Make Jack the host? I mean, then you're just trying to wait for Jack to have the time to do it, which I don't think you have an issue doing it. I'm not saying we can't do it, Blake. I'm just saying, like, I think there's channels that already kind of populate and curate that content at a much faster pace with a lot less investment of time and people and energy. You know what I mean? Like, you're just racing against these guys clipping shit, uploading it to YouTube, and then, you know, these channels that have a bunch of views. Like, what does it actually mean? Like, you're not building a brand. You're just, I mean, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just so far down the fucking rabbit hole of YouTube because I've been doing it for so long. I don't know which way's up, which way's down anymore. Which way's left, which way is right. Like, are we making videos that for a small percentage of the 100 Thieves community that will help us like really create a tight-knit community with our brand? Or do we want to get 500,000 views on a video where only 30% of the people to that channel are subscribed? And we just got it off recommendations. But like, what does that 500,000 viewers do for us? Like, it didn't make anybody go buy 100 Thieves merchandise. Maybe that 500,000 viewers is nice to put into a fucking partnerships deck and say, hey, AT&T, look at this. We get 5 million views a month. Do you actually care about this? It's just hard to, it's like, what is your intention behind what the input? You know what I mean? Talk about being subscribed. This is my secondary email account. This isn't my main email account where I'm subscribed and all shit. Not all views are created equal. 100%. Like Full Squad Gaming, these guys did like 100 million views, I think, or something, and they make these shorts. And I'm fucking stoked for Classy and Avalanche, but it's like, what did we get out of the shorts videos? You know, like what did we get from the 100 million views? Because I know like the ad revenue is not great on shorts. You know, again, it's just really hard to make things meaningful. What about something like Sidemen Sunday style content? Yeah. You know, it's like we have just as many resources as Mr. Beast. I'm like, why haven't we thought about like bigger like idea? You know, this shit to me is kind of, let's see.
Today, the Sidemen are divided into two teams. They'll hear stories from various guests, some you might recognize. Each team questions the guest to decide if their story is true or false. And if they guess wrong, there will be a punishment, which KSI decided this was his and my video, we shared it, and he chose the punishment, don't blame me. Now it's time to hand you over to today's host, Stephen Tries.
Hello and welcome to Would I Lie to You? Sidemen Edition! Uh-oh! Let's meet the teams. First up is a man with movie star looks. In this case, the movie is Pinocchio. Please welcome Toby!
Their chemistry is unmatched, though? Yeah, dude, I know. I think about the same thing with, like Optic, for instance. You know, instead of it just being, like, Scumpy, they've got, like, 8 guys around Scump that all came from, like, the old school Call of Duty community. They all have like very similar senses of humor, background knowledge, you know, and all these sidemen, these guys all came up together and have the chemistry is just, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I actually think our creators, we are all coming from different places of the gaming community, but we're in a room together. I think our chemistry is actually pretty good, but it's just tough. Like, my sense of humor with my channel talking about smoking dicks and fucking these goddamn elves, smoking weed with them. If I said any of these things in front of Ray's audience, I'd be getting canceled. So it's just harder. Like, in a lot of ways, I actually like the net that we casted. It's so wide, every creator with a community from a different place. But then it does make it harder to do videos like the Sidemen does because, you know, these are very different videos than you would ever see on, like, Ray's YouTube channel, like when they do these 20v1s and shit. I don't know.
Today, the Sidemen are divided.
6 weeks to destroy our whole marriage. Papa crumbled in 6 weeks. It was fuck's sake.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Oh, he certainly had the horns by the sound of things.
And like, this dad was very stupid. Like, he eventually believed me, and then he started sending me saucy messages back. A dick pic.
What was Papa packing? Was it impressive?
Interestingly, he didn't even send it hard. It was just flaccid over the tool.
That's such a boomer thing to do.
Just you wait.
It was circumcised.
Not
Get me hard challenge.
Give me a message back. Get this thing going.
So you've sent all these messages. What's the climax, if you pardon the pun?
Yo, Feudies, thank you very much for the Prime, brother. Jokey joke. Thanks for the tier 1, man. Yeah, we'll figure it out, boys. I think when, you know, our esports teams have had a rough couple months, you know, like we haven't been winning as much. We had to cut back budgets a little bit. Teams look a little different. I fuck with all of our guys, but it drives me nuts when I go to our subreddit and people are like, the org is dying, the org is dying. I'm like, yo, listen, brother. These are just the ebbs and flows of fucking esports, man. Like esports content is not an easy thing to do. You know, you can make all the behind the scenes content in the world, like the Heist documentary about the League of Legends team. And then I think the LA Thieves team, they do a great job of mixing like fun and pleasure and entertainment with like the seriousness of them going to the events and competing. Valorant, you know, is popular because it's Valorant and our players are great. But, oh fuck, I had a point that I wanted to make. Oh, yeah, just the subreddit saying, like, the org is dying. It's just like, yo, look, our company has gone through so many changes in the last 18 months. Like, the economy shifted on us entirely. It's not your guys' problems to worry about, but we've had layoffs. We've had changes. We've had turnover. We've had different people coming in and out of the content team. And so, like, yes, like, I'm not fucking going to sit here and disagree with our subreddit that our YouTube channel is stagnant and that it's like if you compare it to what 100 Thieves felt like in 2019, it's very different than it is now. But again, going back to the ebbs and flows, everything that we did in the first 2 to 3 years was like the biggest thing ever because 100 Thieves was like the shiny new toy on the fucking shelves and everybody wanted some. Like, no, everybody wanted the merch. Like, we had seating, every person asked for it. Like, even the fucking big creators like Tim and Ninja and all these guys, everybody wanted something to do with 100 Thieves in some capacity or another. You know, when we would make these big creator announcements, it was a massive day on the internet, no matter who it was. But as your history is unfolding in front of everybody's eyes, you know, the new and shiny toy pops up somewhere else. And everything that we do is not going to be as big and cool, as important as the last because we've now been here around and we've been around for a while. You know what I mean? Like, I know that might seem a little oversimplification. I just think that in the context of 7 years really isn't that, it's not that long of a period. It's really not that much time. And so when people say that the org on our subreddit, it's like, we're dying, the YouTube channel, nobody knows what the fuck's going on, our teams aren't winning, yada, yada, yada. Like, I get it. It's easy to have like this doomsday fucking feeling around it. But, you know, building a company and building a brand that's going to be around for the next 20 years is not an easy thing to do. And I think some months are going to be slower than others. Like some months, even some years now at this point are going to be slower than others. But as long as we're fucking hanging around and we have the right opportunities at the right time when like another big moment like Fortnite or Warzone happens or a new esports title like fucking shakes the goddamn world and everybody's playing it, like, right now, 100 Thieves is in survival mode. Like, how can we make sure that we are around the conversation and around, like, esports in the same way that Team Liquid has been for the last 20 fucking years? And Optic, for that matter, and any other team that you could think of. But I'm just, not everything is going to be sunshine and rainbows, and we're not always going to be the biggest and best in people's minds. Like, we just need to take opportunities as they come and execute as well as we can, and hopefully like people will still want to come back and keep supporting the team. But like for me, like dominating YouTube was like a really big priority at the beginning of 100 Thieves, and I actually think we did a really, really, really good job. And then like everything happens with my ADH doomies. You know, what I think is important to 100 Thieves is not what everybody on the executive team thinks is important. Like to me right now, all I want to do is fucking win. I just want to win championships. That's quite literally the only thing I can think about. But then you know, we've got some cool fucking apparel drops coming that I absolutely love. We got 5 new creators that just joined the team, which for them, 100 Thieves, this is the brand new experience for them. But for me, we've now brought in, you know, handfuls of creators over the course of 7 years. So it's not as big a priority in my mind. But like our YouTube channel was fucking insane. Look at this. fucking 1 million views, 700,000 views, 1.1, 400,000, 900, 1.6. Like, it's easy to think that we're not doing a good job because we're doing a lot of the same things, copy and pasting these tried and true challenge videos and fucking tier lists. Like, it just became monotonous for me and became very boring, if I'm being honest with you. And so we could definitely get back to making better content. Like, we can definitely get back in the lab and doing some familiar things of the past and do a good job with that. But right now, like, all my brain wants to do is see our Valorant team or our Call of Duty team or our League of Legends team win a championship. So, you know, it's just building a brand is hard, man. It takes time, and you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I don't know. Yo, it's Dio. Thank you very much for the Prime, brother. Appreciate you, man. Getting more content, bro? I know, Burke. I definitely need to, bro. I definitely fucking need to. Again, I think I just dealt with a lot of burnout. You know what I mean? But I'm feeling pretty refreshed, man. I had a great day at the office last week. I was there for like 8 hours, got to catch up with everybody. We got Jacob, who's now the president of 100 Thieves, and we've got Julie, who was our head of people now, as COO. She's just like an incredible leader. Like we've had a lot of changes on the back end, and now I think we've got like a fresh chapter, a clean slate. We spent a lot of time working on Juvie and building Juvie. We spent a lot of time on Project X. We spent a lot of time on High Ground. And now High Ground is doing better than it ever has before. We obviously sent Juvie packing. Sam Keen's doing an incredible job. If you guys haven't seen, Juvie's now in Target stores. We don't have any ownership in the company anymore. I'm not, doing anything day to day. I'm not involved with it at all, but I'm happy for them. Project X was a lot of fun, but we just didn't have the budget to continue like a game development process. It's really hard to make a hit game. We knew that, but it was sort of like a passion project. We just went off and tried, like we had this great thing, 100 Thieves, that kind of felt like it was consistently, I don't want to say on autopilot because that makes it sound like we took our eyes off the ball. And I guess we kind of did. Like, I don't have an issue with talking about things that we didn't do well, but 100 Thieves in esports, it just seemed like it was consistently good. Okay, so how do we make it even better? Like, let's use this foundation, build more businesses, and I'll tell you what, it just took our attention away from the thing that put us in that position to begin with, and that was 100 Thieves being like a dominant force in esports content and apparel. So now we're back to basics a little bit, which I just think is a good thing. I mean, I'm bummed that, Project X and Juvie, like I spent a lot of time on those things. Spent a lot of time meetings, building, filming, everything. So it's a bummer that they're not a part of us anymore, but I think we get to go back to doing what we love and what we loved, which was 100 Thieves. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what fucking happens. I just don't think it's as doom and gloom as some people on our subreddit have made it seem and sound like. So what I'm about to do is spend a lot of time just focus on content. Like, I kind of feel like I got my second win for the third or fourth time at this point. But my goal, I hired McGowan. We got a full-time employee. We've been just churning and burning on TikToks and social. But now what I want to do is, for this announcement that we're going to be making in May, like the next 2 days are going to be like the biggest 2 days of my entire career, which I'm fucking fired up for you guys to see it. But we're going to get the camera out. We're going to vlog it. I want to get out to the golf course. Like a goal for me would be doing like a golf video once a week. I think that sounds even already too ambitious. Maybe like once a month to start out with. I want to be firing all cylinders. Like, I honestly have half a mind to fly fucking McGowan out with me to film the first time of our family traveling together. Like, I filmed a lot of Gracie when we were in the hospital. I had nothing else to do to kind of take my mind off all the stress that was happening. But I definitely want to start up some like nice, good old fashioned family fun videos. Like, there's so much I can do. I've just been kind of like putting my head in the sand, fucking streaming 8 hours a day, in which I still want to do. I just need to find a balance. And then I need to help the 100 Thieves team get our content back in a good place. Because even though it doesn't look great, like our output in the last year, you know, not as many videos uploaded, viewership is definitely lower than it used to be. But I think if we get everybody rallied around the table together again, get everybody in some videos, I think we'll be just fine. Again, ebbs and flows, man. You know, it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows every single fucking day. Life of a CEO, dad. Yeah. I mean, that's the tough part, bro. Is like, I got to go out and do more shit if I'm going to film it, because I'm not going to have nothing to film. I'm just going to be sitting here streaming all day. I got to get back in fucking YouTube mode. You know what I mean? I got to get back thinking about YouTube rather than just thinking about streaming. So we're going to find a balance, man. And we can even use the Discord too to help us stay on task. Like, one thing I'm not good at is following through with the things that I think about, but having somebody like McGowan here now to put pen on paper with all these ideas that we have, like, get on top of me to make sure that we're filming. Like, we're going to turn the camera on. Next time I go out to the golf course, bro, bring Sean with me, film it. I just need to get back to having the camera on more. I've gotten my time behind closed doors to feel like I was offline and feel like I got away from the everyday rat race of what my life has been on the internet for the last fucking goddamn 15 years. But I feel good. I'm excited. All right, gentlemen, what the fuck do we do now? I've been sitting here yapping for almost 4 hours. Me, you, Jackson podcast once a month. We could just stream it. No VOD. Yo, listen, Blake, I'm fucking down, brother. I've been down since we fucking talked about it. Somebody needs to plan it and do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm terrible at planning anything. I don't even know how to plan my own life. Time to get to gaming. Is Scump on? Bro, I've been trying to ignore my phone in Discord because I didn't want the pressure of Scump being on to force me out of the just chatting segment of the stream, because I love just chatting. This is great. Yo, Spill. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Thanks for the prime, man. Feels like you've been reading some self-help books. I haven't, bro. I've been reading golf books. One podcast a week, one behind the scenes